Okay, the channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Ooh, Dungeons and Dragons. Sis.
I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight, Paul Fisher as Zinhorn Windborn,
Good evening.
Jenny Meltzer as Zaleen,
Hello.
Mark Kilfoyle as Vertigo,
Someone should create a registry where you have people advise people on trips, and I would mark that last place as definitely not to return to.
and Starla Hodgson as Carolina Swift.
Hello, friends.
So, when last we left our heroes, the Pocket Protectors had traveled at last into the magically sealed away island of Dinuthere, whereupon they were immediately faced with on the one hand, robot things that seemed to be flying at them to attack, and on the other hand, an apparently friendly face in a giant turtle mech. But that friendly face in the giant turtle mech led to another friendly face on the docks and a carriage ride, and then suddenly deep within the heart of what seems like some sort of a big corporation with complicated messaging. They certainly had someone who sent out a very nice friendly face who is trying to put a good spin on everything, but it seems like at the heart of everything is some bad stuff. And eventually, the Pocket Protectors felt that they needed to get away, and so they escaped, leaving behind a strange phenomena. The pipe they have, which has been able to draw nightmare energy out of individuals before, seems to cause some sort of a chain reaction that was expanding rapidly throughout this headquarters as you flew away. And you fought a couple of robots and got a threat from one of the corporate board afterwards. But we left the Pocket Protectors on a rocky hillside outside of this corporate headquarters with now the a new trail to be blazed ahead of them. So, Pocket Protectors, you've escaped from the corporate overlords for now. What would you like to do?
I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace,
Sure.
just in case we decide to try to be sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
And I will, here for the stream, I will briefly put us over on the map of the island just to refresh everybody's memories about exactly where you are on the island at this point. This little fortress right here on the western slope of the mountains is the place that you escaped from, and so you are not too very far away from it currently, but a little bit down into the hills, and so that's where you would be presently. But it is currently, the sun is starting to sink low on the horizon.
How does everyone feel about heading east along that ridge?
It's in the opposite
Sure.
direction of those things, so that sounds good.
All right.
All right.
We're going to head east.
Okay. On foot?
As opposed to,
You guys are level 15 adventurers. You have a lot of tricks up your sleeve in theory, but you don't have to use them. You can also just walk on foot. That's just why I'm
Travel
asking.
has
I'm going to
never
ride
been.
on Buster.
All right.
Yeah, travel has never been a really good thing for us. We've had boats, we've had planes, we've had trains.
Mm-hmm.
The best we did was with our flying castle, which we didn't bring with us. So
But we did bring an emotional support Buster, and if Zaleen wants to ride on Buster, we'll get Buster out.
All right.
Let him stretch his legs, put his saddle on.
All right. I think you bring him out and he immediately gets the zoomies for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Runs around at full speed, doing circles around y'all, and goes and pees on a big rock for a long time.
then can't figure out why it all disappears because Pass Without a Trace is
Mhm.
active.
Yeah, he kind of he pees and then he kind of walks around the rock and he goes to check his work and is like, huh, isn't right.
Got to
He
mark
tries
that
again.
again.
Mhm.
It's a very confused Buster.
But certainly, I think by this time, he's a member of the family and would be just fine with Zaleen riding. Although I think that he is more than willing to let you ride. I'm not sure that it's an especially gentle ride if he gets up to speed. You know, he's not shaped like a horse.
I just meant like piggyback.
Sure. I'm just saying that if he has to run or something, you might need to hold on. That's all.
Sasquatch piggyback. Let's
Mhm.
go.
All right. So, um, you certainly begin your journey to the east. You're kind of following along the ridge, and certainly ahead of you, you're seeing the large mountain kind of tower up into the distance. Behind you, the sun, as I mentioned, is starting to get low, getting towards uh, setting. Are you planning to keep going into the night, or you're just trying to put some
um
distance between you and the fortress?
I don't I don't think we should go too long after dark just because things that have been mentioned might be lurking.
I agree.
Okay, so start looking for a campsite or a place where we can put the tower down.
What is the climate here? Because we've kind of been in climate
Mm-hmm.
controlled conditions for most of it so far.
Yeah, yeah. I would say where you are now, I would say it's brisk, not cold. I think um, compared to where you were outside Emersham, it's colder than that. But I would say it's probably somewhere like 50s Fahrenheit, say. Um, and there's kind of a like a moisture in the air. Like it could mist or rain at any time, but it's not at the moment. It's just kind of heavy in that way.
Is 50 hot or cold?
50 is it's middle.
Okay.
It's
It's well
cool. It's
above
chilly.
freezing,
Yeah.
but it's light jacket weather, edging
Okay.
into medium jacket weather.
Sorry, I don't know Fahrenheit's.
No, that's fine.
Um, uh,
We could convert it, I suppose.
it's something like 2 pi r 32
Yeah,
minus something or other. I don't know.
Divided by 1955.
it
Yeah.
is 10 degrees Celsius.
Okay, that's chilly. Um, I should be able to give us some protection from being spied on. Even if we do decide to go inside the tower, they might look for. Suppose they don't know we have that. Anyway, I might be able to offer some protection from that until we can figure out what to do next. I did not like them very much.
They were not very likable.
Um,
And
no, go ahead.
oh, um, and oddly enough, I didn't like them. I don't know where I was going with that. They they were not nice, and they tried to play it being nice, but you know,
I'm not sure if I believe most of what they said, although the drainers sound dangerous. The rebels might be more helpful.
yeah, the rebels sound like more like our kind of folk, I guess. They're, if we could get rid of these guys seem to be a big part of the problem. The drainers, you know, I don't like the idea of them. I don't know what the reality is. There's a lot of cases where uh, I get very aggressive and then find out mitigating factors. So I guess we'll have to see. But uh,
It's possible they're more like the nightmare infected that we're used to. Although maybe we should be a little more cautious with the pipe. It has much more effectiveness than I expected.
yeah, that was kind of weird. And I agree, but at the same time, I'm wondering like if we go to all of the corporation strongholds and use the pipe, um, if we can put a big dent in their uh, uh, organization. I mean, we don't really know what it did other than uh, seem to knock out a whole bunch of their people. Um, and but I don't know. Did anyone get an idea of like what was happening there before we left?
It was a lot. It got very thick very quickly and just kept going.
People were passing out. That's all I know.
Mhm.
Were they hurt or I'm just yeah. I mean that's the thing is like did they fall asleep? Did they fall into a coma? Did they get hurt? Did they
I think
die?
it was probably like the dragon or Transinil even. Like the nightmare comes out and person falls down.
Ooh,
I didn't
I
really
hadn't
get a
thought.
chance to examine them. I mean,
Yeah.
it was difficult to see through all the smokiness, the weird smokiness. It was weird too. It was so. It
Mhm.
seemed like it had a life of its own.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I will say that it has been your experience in the past that using the pipe on someone who has been, infused with the nightmare is a draining slash painful experience for them to have it come out of them. And so, especially if they've been permeated with it, that might be even more extreme. Without having examined them, you wouldn't necessarily know what kind of shape they're in, although I think it's a reasonable assumption that that is what was happening to the people you saw pass out. But you have not. I think actually you rolled really high on an arcana to suspect that there might be some kind of chain reaction if you used it. And so, certainly, what you saw bore out that theory that it's a little bit like electricity, where if you imagine um, isolated batteries, each can contain some amount of energy, but if you place all of those batteries somewhere where a circuit can connect between all of them, that can cause a current flow in a way that an isolated battery does not. And so you think that that's kind of a metaphor for what was happening there, is that there is so much of it in the ambiance that as it is drawn out of the people, it's kind of creating, like, it's almost becoming like a river flowing towards something you're not sure about.
Hmm.
You don't know what would be drawing it, but certainly the chain reaction happened. It is possible that there is something more in that place that you don't necessarily know, that it would have been being channeled to. Because remember, too, part of what you learned is that a lot of their technology is based on the idea of manipulating that energy.
Right. And then there's also the contract. Like, does that did that do anything to the state of any of their contracts, which keep people in line, I guess.
Mm. You could go
So
back and ask them.
we could,
Yeah.
and we could bring a
I laugh
rebel
only
army
because I
with
don't
us.
think you will, not because I would say no that you couldn't.
certainly those, what were they called? Board members?
Mm-hmm.
I feel a little less concerned about their welfare. They seem to be a lot less concerned about everyone else's after all. But maybe we'll make sure that there aren't any minors or um, I hesitate to use the word innocent, but I think that they might have been. Um, but hmm, what I've usually referred to as corruption or nightmare energy or infestation, here is much more consistent and constant. So it may be that while it inflames their bodies or is permeated throughout them, if they haven't necessarily been changed by it, then it would just be the loss of the mystical energy that happens when this is drawn out, as opposed to the sort of creature bearing construct that we're normally used to when one of these nightmares is exposed. And that sort of random energy is feeding into other things. Jephthahs probably did have something, though. And their ability to capture that energy and store it may have transferred some of that creature essence to them as well. It's hard to say. So yes, it probably will have a very significant effect if we try it again.
All right. We'll keep that in mind and keep it in reserve.
It does make me
Remember,
wonder about some of the other things we've had that have been powered by this stuff.
You wonder why I was always hesitant to use it.
Right.
Celine?
I was just thinking about the big giant dragon nightmare when we went to the plane of dream.
Hmm.
Just thinking about that, it kind of made me think of that. Had that, I don't know. It's a lot.
So, as it is starting to get dark, were you were looking for what kind of a campsite were you maybe looking for? Like what qualities would you be looking for in a campsite?
Uh,
Hidden,
yeah,
tucked away,
tucked away in a stand of trees or
Hmm.
something.
making a little branch hideaway to tuck the tower into so that
Sure.
you can't see it.
Well, someone can make either a survival or an investigation check to try to find
I'm good
a
at
good spot.
survival,
Yeah.
allegedly. We'll see.
Well, someone's helping you. You can roll with advantage if you're all kind of
Give
looking.
you advantage.
At 20,
That's pretty good.
30.
Yeah, I think before it gets too dark, you find. So I assume you were looking for a place that you can make the tower full size, or are you planning to have it be small?
Um, I don't know if we should make it full size. I mean that's
Well,
going
the
to draw
risk of
more
making it
attention to it.
small is that someone could pick it up and carry it with them, right?
How
Full
tall
size.
is the tower at full size?
It is 4 stories tall.
So 50, 60 feet at most.
Yeah.
I can cast a spell around the tower so that no one will be able to see it, and it should cover it from magical eyes too.
Okay.
You can. I'm not immediately off the top of my head thinking of what spell that would be. I'm excited to find
So he
out.
doesn't have it memorized, so he has to use Solomonius' gift to cast Private Sanctum,
Oh.
which is 100 feet on a side. It sound can't pass through. It appears to be dark and foggy on the boundary. Vision can't see through it. Sensors created by divination spells can't appear
Mm.
inside. Creatures in the area can't be targeted by divination spells, and nothing can teleport in and out of the warded areas. And planar travel is also blocked. It's
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay.
and it lasts for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So it'll take
That's
me a few
fun.
minutes to cast it, and it will require me using Solomonia's gift. I hope that she doesn't mind. Never really reconciled whether that meant anything different, if it was a gift or it was some sort of gift with strings. Anyway, this at least should prevent any sort of prying eyes.
Well, I think Lynn uses it all the time, don't you? Your
Well, I
gift from
mean,
Solomonia.
yes, but I mean, not like all the time, but I mean, for all I know, she's using it to see out my eyeballs everything I see. So at this point, I don't think it matters anymore.
Besides,
True.
maybe she needs to be aware of this place, I suppose.
Yeah.
Although what's going on in Bashan is, well, that's a whole other weirdness. So his eyes will glow white as he proceeds to trace the path, the runic path around where the tower is set up, and indeed it becomes hidden in the mists.
Okay, great. So I'm just checking some stuff real quick. Yeah, that is a very cool spell that I had not ever really looked at carefully. That absolutely is going to work. Um, so yeah, and it creates. I assume you don't make it any. Like, how big do you make it? Like, tall enough, presumably, to hold the tower, or big enough to enclose the tower? Any bigger than that, or just big enough for that?
I mean, enough that there's sort of a small path around the outside that people can step
Mm-hmm.
outside if they need to, but not excessively big. No.
Okay, right. Because otherwise, it's kind of like, what is that giant square foggy area?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that you find a spot that is level enough and it is surrounded enough by trees tall enough that you think that this region would be very difficult to spot without like walking right up to it. Um, does that meet your expectations for a campsite? All right. So certainly, as I mentioned, the night is cool and kind of misty. The sun has started to go down. It is a very colorful sunset. Partly, you suspect, because of all the smoke in the air from the city, but also you're getting some kind of an iridescent effect through the magical bubble that wasn't as obvious when the sun was higher in the sky. But
We
you
are
have.
inside the Dawn's Tier.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So the sunset, in addition to having all sorts of the oranges and yellows and purples that a normal sunset would, also has kind of an iridescent shimmer to it as well. And you are able to set up the tower and go inside. Are you just headed for like a long rest, or do you have other things that you want to do first?
The usual amount of studying and writing before he falls unconscious on his book.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just a long rest for me and cleaning up, sweeping up the tower, organizing things,
All right.
making sure Buster gets fed.
All right. Everyone turning in for the night? All right. So I would say you have been asleep for somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 or 6 hours, or like 5 or 6 hours into your long rest, when Jenny, as the current, possessor of the key to the tower, you would become aware that there is someone pounding on the door. Are you muted? We didn't hear you just then.
Sorry, I was
That's,
coughing.
that's okay.
Okay, so I will wake up Lynn.
Hmm.
What was that, huh?
There's there's something like someone knocking on the tower door.
I thought Nedry said we were hidden.
Yeah. I mean, it could be personal gankers, but
Um, as so, let me also give the additional detail now that as this isn't a knock, 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 and then a pause. This is someone bam, 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 like that. It has a
okay.
desperate quality to it.
All right.
Hold on. Let me see. What do we got here that we can use? Um, um,
I don't think you have by nature the ability to see who's outside, do you? I don't think we wrote
No,
that into
because
the rules.
it's in a different plane of
Right, yeah.
existence.
So what you know is that it is not anyone that you have previously granted entry into.
It could be any. All right.
so, um, I mean, I would feel bad if it was, you know, someone who needed help, but I'm really hesitant to open that door. But let me try this, and I'm gonna hit her with protection from evil and good using the mandolin there.
Okay.
All right. Can you like stand behind me with, I don't know, something at the ready?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see.
And as I'm like walking
One
to the door, like I've got like the Eldritch Blast energy crackling in my hand.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have a dissonant whispers ready just in case.
Okay.
All right. And then I'm gonna open the door just to touch.
All right. So I think that as you peek open, you see that outside, pounding on the door, appears to be a young woman, maybe early 20s. She has an appearance that looks perhaps like a half elf or something similar. She's got the slightly pointed ears a little bit. Half elf would be your best guess. Early 20s, and she's decked out like an adventurer, but an adventurer who has had a very bad day. Um, like one of her sleeves is torn. She doesn't seem to be carrying anything, which would certainly be unusual for an adventurer out in the, out and about. And I think she was looking desperate and afraid, but then as the door opens, she looks like she's going to try to press her way in, but obviously the spell, she can't get in without you admitting her. But she says, "Oh my God! Please, please! You got to let me in. They're right outside. They're after me. Please, please! I will do anything. Just get me out of here."
Who's after you?
Siphoners! They're right out. They're right behind me. Please, please, please! They're gonna.
I'm gonna like kind of like lean out and peek up over her head
Mhm.
to see if I can see anything coming after her.
So let's see. I think the barrier of the private sanctum. Does it look foggy from both sides? The spell doesn't seem like it says either way. It sounds like the barrier of the warded area appears dark and foggy, so I don't think you can see through it from inside.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Huh.
She
I
says,
don't
"Please,
see
they
any.
killed everybody else. They're going to kill me too. I just found you by accident, but please let me in. It's like I can explain everything. Just they're right behind me."
I'm gonna turn around and look at Lynn.
I mean, you can make an insight check. It seems like that's
Yeah,
what you're doing without saying it.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
15.
As far as you can tell, she is sincerely terrified.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
you don't
Yeah.
sense any
Yeah.
deception, but you also can't see what she's talking about.
Right. All right. Come on in. Don't touch anything.
Okay. Yeah, she practically falls inside and then is immediately like trying to force the door closed, like, or help you to do that, so that no one else can follow her inside. And then I think she kind of, once the door is closed, she just kind of collapses into a little ball on the ground, and it's just like, oh my god, thank you, oh my god, I thought they were gonna have me for sure. They already got everyone else. Oh my god. Oh, who are who are you anyway? Like, I didn't know there was anything out here.
Uh,
We're just
Passing through.
travelers. Yeah.
You're not with the construct builders.
No.
No, you're not.
Mm-mm.
Are you independent?
No. I mean,
So
well,
from
kind of.
out of like the inside of my like pajamas here, just like pull out a business card and hand it to her.
Uh, I she like keeps rereading it, like somehow it's going to explain. It's like, what where did you come from? Like, you didn't come from the city?
Well,
I
we were
mean,
in the city, but we only briefly.
I mean, you're not saying you came from.
So here's the thing. You knocked on our door, and if you want to start,
Oh, sure. No,
names.
no. Yes, absolutely. No, I understand. Like, I probably woke you up. I.
So I will show her into the the bottom where
Yeah, it's
it's
the little
all
sitting
half
room with,
eaten.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Where everything's been chewed on from about, like 2 feet down.
we clean it up. It's not.
Yeah, it's not just a bunch of
Yeah, and
garbage.
she's looking around. It's like, how, how do you hide a place this big? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I know. Yes. My name is Clemens. I was part of a patrol, and we got wiped out, except for me, by Siphoners. And what else can I tell you?
What's a siphoner?
Patrol.
Uh,
We
what's a
uh,
Siphoner? Okay. Sorry. I'm
we
having
were
to
told about them at the other place,
Okay.
sort of.
Please forgive me. I'm really not trying to keep anything from you. I am just like, I'm having to like realign my expectations here. Siphoners are what happens when people choose to feed directly on the magical energy from another person without any intermediary, and it kind of turns them into monsters who can only get energy that way, and they are terrifying, and they killed all my friends, or at least all the friends who were on patrol with me.
People choose to do that?
I mean, you could argue that they were monsters before they turned into monsters, but what can I tell you? People do it.
Hmm. But you mentioned something about a patrol. Who are you patrolling for?
Well, I mean, just she's like suddenly looking around at you again, and like, well, just making sure, monitoring positions of, you know, like siphoners and constructs, and
Okay, but who do you work for?
Oh,
I
I think look, it's we haven't had a full night's sleep, but I think I'm gonna look at Zelene. I think it's probably the other group. The what is like the I don't know. They were talking about oh they're rebels, they're anarchists. I don't know. I think only half of it was true.
Who knows? Yeah, I'll tell you
uh
what. It doesn't matter to us who you work for. Like, we're not going to judge you. We're just trying to figure things out. That's all. Like,
Okay, well, I would I would say I work for people who are trying to make this place better. Um, I'm sorry if I'm being cagey. It's just I don't
Oh,
really
there's a war going
understand who
on. We
you
know.
are, and okay, but I can definitely tell you I don't. Nobody works with the siphoners except themselves, and we're not with the construct makers either. So I does that answer your question? I mean, we have like a collective of people, and we're just trying to keep the area safe. And obviously, this area is not safe. Or I mean, it wasn't out there, but now how long has this place been here?
Like an hour, like a couple
Couple
hours.
hours.
Oh, God, I mean, I guess like we couldn't have known. I'm just suddenly thinking if we had known this place was here, that's not on you. That's
Yeah, this place won't be here anymore when we leave
I just
because we'll take it with us.
if yeah okay I'm just we got ambushed and kind of just had nowhere to go. We were caught too far out, and uh, you know I was the only one able to get away. But like I wasn't I listen. I owe you my life. They absolutely would have caught me, and I apologize for leading them to you, but I am sure they trailed me to whatever that fog wall was. And they're not dumb, so they're going to know there's a building here. Um, but it seems like
Well,
Are they
you've
just
they
got
can't
some
get
magic
nighttime
in.
protection,
creatures,
so
or are they just like nighttime? Like when the sun comes up, are they gonna go away, or like they just be out there persistent?
well, it's hard to say. They don't. They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
Well, here's the thing. Unless, I don't know, they have some kind of power beyond my understanding, you're safe here for now.
Okay. I
They
guess I
can't
was
just
just
come in.
I you were just talking about this place isn't going to be here tomorrow, and I'm worried about what happens if they're still out there in the morning.
Oh, well, I mean, this place will be here as long as we are here.
Okay.
We kind of just pack it up and take it with us when it's time to go. So
Okay.
it's not going anywhere as long as we are here.
Well, I mean, if you all have the ability to disguise a building like this and then move the building, I guess. I mean, it sounds like you're pretty powerful.
Well, I mean, we have our tricks and skills.
I mean, we have business cards, so you know.
Yeah.
She's holding the card and she's looking down at it. Um, they would have they would have taken my friends back to their nest, and they won't be all the way dead right away. Could you?
How much
I'll go wake the boys.
time? Yeah.
To trudge off.
Yeah. So we didn't get a long rest yet.
No, you would need like
Okay.
another couple of hours.
Okay.
I'm
All
just
right.
gonna
Well,
like wake everybody up. Come on, we have company.
Um, what's up?
Already? I don't think that
yeah.
was enough time.
Well, you never get enough because you're reading in your sleep, but still, here we are. It and then like we will just kind of fill them in on everything that like we'll introduce her and then
Mhm.
fill them in
I
on
don't.
everything that she told us.
Hi,
Did
I'm
she? Did she
Clemens.
give us her name?
Clemens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she
Clemens.
said it kind of
Clemens.
fast, but that was what it was.
So yeah, those like weird vampire-y type things that suck out people's magic.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what happens when they attack is like they kind of like drain your life essence, and they kind of make you just like you kind of just can't move, and you feel super weak, and then eventually you'll go unconscious. But they kind of try to keep you in that state for as long as they can. And obviously that's not that long because they can't help themselves. But um, like I had thought it was just a lost cause. I thought I was going to be the next one, but like if we could if we could save them.
How many are there?
Well, I saw 6. I don't know how many more there might be at the nest. It might just be the 6, but I can't say for sure.
How many in your patrol?
There's 3 others.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
I mean, this would be a good opportunity for you to get your eyes on some of those weird magic sucking creatures.
True. Um, I have a little magic left.
And I think Rushama would agree with me that they're unnatural and need to go.
They're definitely unnatural, and they're horrible, and nobody likes them except themselves.
At the very least, they've
Okay.
made poor choices.
Yep.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna cast Death Ward on Buster.
I'm
Okay.
gonna cast Death Ward on Lynn.
Hmm.
I think
Okay.
maybe. Yeah.
Is my
Okay.
aid spell still going?
How long
Um,
does that last?
I
It's
think
like,
8 hours. Is that
It's
right?
like, I think so. Hold on. Yeah, 8 hours.
So probably then, yeah. Or when did you do it?
It's
Did you? Because you did it.
two adventures ago. When we like just before we went
Okay.
through.
If you did it before you went in through the bubble, then I would say no. If you had done it like before you escaped from the headquarters, I would say yes.
Okay.
Um, okay. So, um, and I think Clemens will say, I don't suppose you have a spare weapon. I kind of had to drop everything to even get away.
Oh yeah, probably. Just like start dumping bags
I
off
could
the
use a
floor.
short sword or like a longbow.
Uh, I'll tell you what. I have this really cool thing, and I'm gonna take out the Sticky Zicky's bag.
All right.
It's kind of a great club, but it's super cool.
I think she kind of swings it around a little bit, and then is it magic?
It can be.
What do
It
I
can
do?
be. You have to say, I can't remember because it's not even on
You have
here.
to basically say something nice, like an ad about
Yeah,
sticky zickies.
you have to. You like the people who made this. It's sort of like an advertiser for them. So when you're using it, you kind of have to praise the store. So
Uh,
you just want to be like, Sticky Zickies is the greatest place in Pashawn or
uh,
something like that.
Sticky Zickies is my favorite shop in Dinuthere. And then it lights up like the flashing on his and she's like, whoa.
I'm sure they'll appreciate the franchise opportunity.
Yeah,
Yep.
they
um,
do. But
Uh, I asked her if she's hurt.
oh, I mean, not really. Oh, this is actually raises a good question. they tend to go after spellcasters first. So just
Oh,
if
so
that.
we're all gonna get it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hmm. Just for
just
extra.
heads up then, I guess. I mean, that's like I don't do magic, and I think that might have been the only reason I was able to get away because they
Are
went after
they,
the others first.
like, that you know of, are they susceptible to any specific kind of magic or anything that it just kind of bounces right off of them?
No, well, so they start out kind of like intangible, like it's hard to see them, and they can kind of move through things, but if they get a hold of you, they can like suck your magic essence out, and that makes them like more solid and like tougher for a while.
Does
Hmm.
anybody have anti-magic field?
Yes.
I think so, but I don't know if
Best,
I have it prepared.
best I can do is the mental reinforcement.
I do have anti-magic field, and I have an 8th level spell slot.
I'm wondering if
Oh no, I have the other one.
that would stop them or uh, I don't I
It might
assume they're like
incapacitate them, or at the very least make them weaker.
I mean, if they're kind of like incorporeal, like that seems like it might be a magic thing, right? So if that's the case, they couldn't come through it that way, and I don't just thinking out loud. And if it
Hmm.
doesn't work, you just drop it, and we do what we usually do.
Okay. Um, all right. I need to like read this, so give me a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, I can do it. It lasts for an hour. So how far away are we from the nest?
Well, maybe
Oh, they're
I think I know where it is. And if they dragged them back there, it's not too far. It's like maybe a little over half a mile from here.
we should be prepared if there's others just on the other side of the barrier too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna cast aid at 3rd level. So the 3 party members get 10 hit points.
Those are the ones that you add to your total.
Yeah, it's a max HP modifier.
right. So,
Hmm.
and I think she's standing there, and you can kind of sense like she's holding the bat, and it's kind of like shaking in her hand. It seems kind of like she's got an adrenaline thing going on here.
Okay.
Just stay in the middle of us. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. Can't believe we're doing this. Uh, I 10 minutes ago I thought sure I was gonna die, and now, whew, okay, okay. All right, we're gonna do this.
I thought you were part of the patrol. Shouldn't
Yes.
this be something normal for you?
This is my first. It's my first one. It's my first one.
Oh,
It hasn't gone great.
I think Vertigo will walk over, kind of tap on the hand awkwardly.
you're doing fine. Okay.
Well, you know what? Let's reevaluate that in an hour.
Before we head out the door, I'm gonna set a hand on her shoulders, like you were very brave, and everything's gonna be okay. I promise. And so I'm gonna count that as bardic inspiration for
Okay,
her.
good, nice, nice. So roll a persuasion check with advantage on top of that.
Both of them were a 19. So
Okay, well that's still pretty good. She's like, thank you. Thank you. I just like I was so sure that I had just failed everyone. But now, like, maybe we have a chance. I just, like, I can't believe I found you all. So, thank you for being the sort of people who would help.
As we're like walking out, I'd be like to Vertigo and be like, need to reevaluate that spell. didn't didn't hide us very well.
I'm a little curious about that, but at least the magical ones probably didn't find us from a distance.
I think if she overhears you, she says, I mean, I didn't have any idea that you were here. I ran face first into what looked like fog and then hit a wall. And then I
Oh,
just
okay.
felt my way around it. Like, I I didn't know anything was here. I was just trying to hide.
Okay.
I'll
That
start
makes
researching some
sense.
sort of walls of stone too.
Okay.
So we should probably wait to
Well, I'm
cast
kind of
the
glad that you
anti-magic.
didn't because, like, they would have just. Okay, well, you know what? I'll let
Yeah,
you
no,
make those
we
decisions.
were
It was
just
like,
curious. Not
yeah.
that we're not happy to help you. It's just a curiosity that,
No, I get it. Like you're trying to
yeah.
hide. Like I'm kind of on the side of having benefited from. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, we're good.
We can leave the spell here. If we
Yeah. We're
come
leaving the
back
tower.
later.
Mhm.
Are we? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
there's no reason for us to take it with us.
and probably don't cast anti-magic field until we're outside. Don't know what that will do to this place. Maybe let's not find out.
You're muted, Paul.
Oh, I unmuted, but now I'm unmuted. Um, yeah, we definitely want to be outside, and it basically means that anyone who's in the anti-magic sphere with me um, can't cast spells, and if you have a magic weapon, it's going to act as a regular weapon.
How wide is the radius of that?
10 foot.
I'll be at least 20 feet away.
Well, they're going to target you first.
That's all
Okay,
right.
but
I have a few tricks still.
yeah.
That's why I was saying if
10
we
foot
start
radius.
experiencing any problems, like if they can get through the field or whatever, then we just drop it and we go about
Right.
doing what we usually do.
Right. My thought was to draw them in to the sphere, um, where hopefully their magic sucking ability doesn't work, and then use my mace or my
Just kill them the good
trident.
old-fashioned way.
Yep.
Well, they would be normal weapons, though.
Yeah, they'll act as normal weapons. My enhanced strength won't work.
Does that mean your armor's going to start to sag? Because that
Oh,
would be a
that's
little
good
embarrassing.
question. My armor. Oh boy, my armor might just fall right off me
Um,
or stop moving.
I will go ahead and rule for convenience sake that you, like, while in it, you can't command it to do anything different than what it's doing, but it will still sort of function.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Mhm.
I like that. But
First things first. The enemies at the gates, maybe.
All right. So, what are you doing? I assume you open the door and it would be you're faced with a sort of a dark and foggy wall.
Get everybody outside in a little group.
yep.
I'm gonna
So-
listen for any sounds of like
But unfortunately, you can't hear anything through the wall either.
It's a private
oh,
sanctum.
okay.
It's very effective at making sure we can't see a damn thing that's going on outside.
Hmm.
Unintended consequences.
I might suggest we move off in different directions, though.
Like from each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then how are we going to know if the anti-magic field works or not?
We might not want to use it here. I think that's more effective at the nest, I think it was called.
Yeah, we might want to get a little bit further down the way.
But there might be some out here because they were just chasing her.
Right.
Right.
I don't know how often you can do that, Zinhorn.
Once.
Maybe we'll save the big things for the nest.
Okay.
On 3?
On 3.
Let's
Do we
go.
want to count down from 3 or count
Oh,
up to
God,
3?
just go. Push him forward.
I was just gonna say, if like I imagine you just go. And
Sure.
All right.
What? All right. So I think as you pass through, and it is also still dark outside because it is, nighttime in a forested area. So there's tree canopy, but certainly you are able to see a bit more than through the fog. And as you glance around, you are not immediately surrounded by anything, but off to your right, around one of the other corners of this tower, you do hear a strange a sound like and Clemens looks at you and kind of nods in that direction.
Right.
So it's around the corner of one, but you hear it now that you're outside.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Fine. Can't see them. Yeah, just off in that direction then.
Okay.
Actually, Vertigo will cast protection from evil and good on himself.
Okay.
Tap the book and give himself some temporary hit points.
All right.
19 temporary hit points.
Nice. All right. So, you are you being stealthy to head up around the corner? Seems like something you might do. In that case, give me a group stealth check, including for Buster.
Yeah.
12.
Clements got pretty high one, like 22. So
How does the Mistress of the Dark get a 9?
look, the Mistress of the Dark can stub her toe just like anyone else. All right. Okay. So
11 for me, and for Buster, 17.
okay. So I think what is their passive perception here? Okay. I think that you are able to get to the point where you are peeking around the corner. You have not heard any change in the sort of like hissing moans. And as you look around, you see a shape that looks a bit like a cloaked figure with long, very long, like long arms and long clawed fingers, but also a bit like you don't see any legs. It's a bit like they're sort of floating and a little ethereal, and light is coming from like their eyes and their mouth, and then drifting off in little wisps around them as well. So they're dark except for these places where they're giving off kind of a ghostly blue white light, and you see it sort of like inspecting this foggy wall and occasionally going and it's like it's confused by the fog, and it does not appear to have noticed you. There's only one, I should add, right now.
Is this considered a humanoid or like a person or a monster?
It's a monster. You would even venture like you are to some extent in uncharted territory, but the closest analog to anything you've seen before would be undead.
Well, in that case, I want to try something I haven't used before. I don't think I've used this anyway. And I want to cast Hold Monster on it.
Okay.
It's a Wisdom saving throw.
All right. Well, let's give it a go. 8.
That does not do it.
So as you cast your spell, suddenly you see it like probing the wall, and then just but it's frozen in place, and it's just kind of making that panicked moaning sound.
All right, got a minute. Do what you're gonna do.
All right, so we can let's roll initiative. Okie dokie. That's 11 for Zinhorn, 7 for Vertigo, 19 for Zaleen, 12 for Lynn. Did we get one for Buster?
Yeah. Trying to figure that out. Just need to do a 20. There we go. 7 for Buster.
All right. Okay, so it is currently held by the Hold Monster spell. What is your dex, Vertigo? Because you tied with Buster.
I definitely lost to Buster.
Okay. And so it is currently held, but Zaleen, you are up first.
I am going to. Ugh. I did not know that I was first.
Terribly sorry.
No, it's okay. I am going to. Man. Oh no, I hate that spell. I should just.
Well, it is paralyzed, so
I know, but this one was it was something that just it wouldn't do very.
I mean,
Much.
Eldritch Blast will be an advantage because it's
Yeah,
paralyzed.
I'm gonna do that because that's just what I do.
Yeah. All right. Okie dokie. So a 25, a 19, and a 13 all hit.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. In fact, actually, you should have rolled those with advantage. So roll 3 more in case any of them are crits.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a natural 1.
All right. Well, that wouldn't have hit, but those first 3 rolls were all hits. So, okay, yeah. So no crits, but 3 hits. So it looks like, 3, 2, and 1 force damage.
It was like rolling the damage the second time, but not the first one. So yeah, 3, 2, and then 1.
Yeah. All right. So that's 6 off of the first one. It is frozen in place, can't move, and it just your Eldritch Blasts just pelt into it, and you watch as they tear right through its semi-ethereal form, tearing like flickering holes through it.
Does it like as it hits and does damage, does it seem to like bother it?
Oh yeah, no, like this is definitely injuring it. It absolutely is taking
Okay.
that damage. Like what I'm just suggesting is its form is such it's not entirely solid.
I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't just absorbing the
Oh
eldritch.
no, you absolutely just perforated it with 3 little blasts. It's definitely hurt it. It's not like about to be dead, or whatever that means
Right,
for this
right.
sort of thing. But yeah, but it definitely hurt it.
Okay.
All right.
That's my turn.
Okay. So it is now the siphoner's turn, and it's going to try it, like, at the end of it can't do anything except at the end of its turn it can try to repeat the saving throw. Oh, it did roll high that time. So that is 21. So I think that. So,
Yeah,
but
that'll
that's
beat
the
it.
end of its turn. So it doesn't get to do anything this round, but it does finally sort of shake itself free, and turn, looking at you. Lynn, it is now your turn.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna. You know what? I need it to make an intelligence saving throw because I'm
Okay.
going to cast Mind Sliver.
All right. 8 again.
No. Let's see. What do we got? 15. And that,
Woohoo.
let's see. The first time it makes a saving throw before the end of my next turn, it must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled
Well,
from the save.
here's the thing. You feel the spell connect, but whatever this psychic, mind sliver that you connect to, like it finds no purchase. Like it slides on through, just like it is, like it's immune to psychic damage.
All right, good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, so you find that spell just finds nothing tangible that it can sort of affix to, and no damage is done. Okay. Zinhorn.
Okay.
By the way, I'm assuming that you're all right about 30 feet away, but you can change that if you like. We're doing theater of the mind, of course, but just let me know if any of that changes.
Okay. I am going to 30 feet away. I'm going to close to 15 feet and hit it with lightning breath.
All right.
It's got to make a dex saving throw
Okay.
at 15.
5 fails.
Why
Okay.
did it roll 1d8?
How many d8 should it roll?
It should roll 4d8.
Oh, wow.
So let me try this. There we go.
Okay. All right. So it failed. So that hits. But you watch as some of you're used to, when you use your lightning breath on something and it's within range, you're used to seeing the bolts kind of like rush to the target in order to like ground through them, right? You watch as some of the lightning does pass through it, and it does seem to, like, recoil and snarl and react as though it's in pain, but some of the lightning just goes right through it, and so it's only going to take half damage from that. But it does take 12. Okay. I guess that's Buster's turn.
Okay. Buster is going to go for his multi-attack and
Okay.
start with the bite.
Yeah.
You got a 14
Okay,
to
14
hit.
will hit. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, I'm just checking how one of its features works, but a 14 definitely hits. And I think the strength save to try to pull it prone, he just finds that as he yanks his head, he just ends up pulling right back out through it. So it can't be pulled prone, but it does do take the piercing damage. Half of it, as a matter of fact, because it is, semi-intangible.
Okay.
But that's another 11 damage right there.
Right. And then he gets 2 claw attacks.
Yeah.
It's an 11 to hit.
And 11 will miss, unfortunately.
Okay. And the second claw. It's a crit.
All
Natural
right.
20.
That will hit. Yeah. Definitely hit with a crit. So let's see. That's it would be boy, the way it added that all up is interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the slashing, not the bludgeoning, because it wasn't prone, right? So
Right.
the 11 plus is weird. Like I don't understand why it says 11. Oh, so it's 11 plus 6. Okay, so it's 17. 17 damage.
All right.
Okay, and it's looking pretty rough at this point. Like it is, you can see in all of these places where it's been wounded, this strange blue-white light seems to almost be draining out of it like blood and then just sort of like flowing off. So imagine if someone was underwater and bleeding the way their blood would sort of like just trail out away from them. This blue-white energy seems to be doing that in all of their injured places. Okay, so Vertigo, you're next.
So, as an experiment and kind of a free interact, Vertigo will try to speak to it with telepathy and kind of call out to it, "Hey, over here," and see if it responds.
It does. It like turns to look at you and just like ah.
Can I tell if there's any intelligence in that mind?
I mean, you could try to speak to it more. It certainly reacted to your words in its head.
Well, I'll try it anyway. I will use my once a day to detect thoughts.
Okay. Yeah. So I think surface level thoughts. It's you're getting basically just like, so hungry. They have magic. I must have the magic. I'm so hungry.
So, might as well do it out loud just so that other people have some idea what Vertigo's trying to do. He will ask, how many of you are at your lair? And then probe deeper to get the answer to see if it
Okay.
comes unconsciously to mind.
Yeah.
So that is a resisted. Maybe there.
Is it like make a deception check or something?
No, it's a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay. To probe deeper, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I follow. Okay. So
Yep.
let's. Yeah,
And then
that's an 11 on its wisdom save. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that you are immediately seeing sort of a mental picture that there are 5 others in its little cluster, and 3 of them are currently stronger because they've been able to feed recently. And
Okay.
then this one and the other 2 that weren't able to feed were looking for the half elf, but now they found you.
So total of 6, including this one.
Yeah.
So Vertigo would be kind of translating this and saying, there are 5 others. A couple of them had a chance to feed, so they're stronger. But that seems to be everything. Not too bad. Is it one question, or can I ask another one at this point?
I think if you were going to try to drop out, I think that's probably all you can get because we're still in initiative. Like
Okay.
it's not incapacitated or anything.
I might be able to find out more about its lair, but I don't think it'll last long.
All right. So I think Clements is trying to decide. I think she is encouraged enough, and having been handed a magical weapon, she is going to charge it and attack. And
Magical.
the club is basically a magic great club, right? Does
Yeah, as long as she yells out "sticky zickies" like
Yeah.
I told her.
she does Sticky Zicky's gonna help me kick your ass. And she hits. And a great club is what, a D8? Hang on, I could pull it up. Um, it is a D8. She does. It's a 1 on the damage die. So she does 3 damage to it. Bonk. But the magic weapon definitely just connects to it. Just like, thunk, and it like knocks its head to like crooked one side. And then I think she's standing there looking at the rest of you like, yeah, all right, good. We're doing this, right? Okay, so that is back to the top of the initiative. Zaleen, you're up. This thing is looking extremely rough right now.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do my favorite thing and just hit it with some Eldritch Blasts.
Gotcha. So no longer paralyzed, so no initiative advantage, but 21, 15, and are both hit, and 20, all 3 of those hit. All right. 4, 1, and 5. Yes, your Eldritch blasts pierce through it, and you see that. What is it? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, you see as, as they pierce through it, you see it starting to kind of lose its coherence, but then there's a bright blue-white flash at the center of it swirling around, and all of the rest of it starts to like spin around it like it's a gravity well, and then it all collapses in, and there's a shock wave, and only Clemens and Zinhorn are within range and need to make Constitution saving throws.
What about Buster?
Oh yeah, Buster too. And Clemens fails that.
I got a 12,
Okay.
and
That's high on those damage rolls, damage dice.
Constitution.
Yeah.
Buster got a 10.
Okay. So that is 28 psychic damage to everyone who failed that save, which was anything below 14. Yeah.
Alright.
So I think Clemens kind of like grabs and holds her head. It's like, ah. She looks like pale and rattled, but not unconscious. But the thing seems to be gone. And then she's kind of looking up at you. She's like, I'm remembering now that they said try not to be close to them when they go. Ow.
I'll walk up to her and put a hand on her shoulder and cast Healing Word at level 2 and say, "Good job, kid."
Thank you.
And she
How
she
much
gets
damage?
5 hit
5.
points.
It was 28 total.
Okay.
And I'll give you the just extra little tip that was like close to the max damage for what the dice rolled. If you want a sense of whether that was a hard hit or a weak one. Okay.
Going to use a cure wounds on her.
Okay, great.
So 8 more points.
Okay. Great. Okay, yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna do Healing Word on myself, her, and Buster.
I think she is going to just say, I am so grateful for the loan of this bat, I wonder if you have something ranged.
I have a sling.
I have a short bow,
Oh.
I think.
I could take it. I'm just
Alright.
like, I'm so glad to be here. I'm going to help as much as I can, but y'all are out of my weight class.
Short bow it is. Never had much luck with it myself. You're welcome to it.
Thank you. She takes it. All right. So I guess if this was the only one here, I mean, I can lead you to where we thought their nest was.
There should only be 5 more. Unless it had others I didn't know about, which would be weird. You said that sometimes they're invisible?
Well, I mean, it was kind of like that one you saw. You saw they're a little hard to see in the dark, especially if they're not moving, it can be hard to spot them.
Good to know.
Right,
But
how
that's when
far-
they're like this. They're not quite so hard to see when they're stronger, because like they get more solid.
How far away did you say the nest was?
Maybe a little over half a mile, I think.
Okay.
All right. So she starts leading you in that direction. I assume, once again, I would like another group stealth check, unless you're all feeling pretty confident. You're just going to walk up on them.
Oh no, I think we definitely want stealth.
Makes sense.
I am not stealthy.
Okay.
Buster got a 10.
All right.
He
So
might
let's
be
see. We got an 8, we got a 22, we got a 14, and a 10, you said, for Buster?
Mm-hmm.
And Clement's got a 16. So I think that is still. Is that a 2 for Zinhorn? Looks like, yeah. All right. So
Yes,
I
there was a
think
2.
that as you
Did
are.
did Jenny, did you cast Pass Without a Trace before?
Well, that was before you went into the.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it only lasts for like an hour,
Yeah.
So you could cast
and
it
I can
again,
only
but
do
the original.
I can only do it once a day.
So I think as you are creeping through the woods, you do start hearing, and you look over and you see that there's 2 more of these things headed your way. So we're gonna roll initiative again.
All right.
All right. And they roll again. 9.
I rolled an 18. And Buster got a 9.
And a 7 for me.
Okay. All right. 7. So, Zaleen. What was your... Oh, 14. Okay. And Lynn. Zinhorn, 18. What did you say was Buster's?
9.
9. Vertigo, 19.
19.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so it looks like you're going to be first to go, Vertigo. And then the Dragon Brothers at the head of the pack.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So these things spotted you. I think that they're starting like 40 feet away from you.
Okay.
And, we're in very dark woods here. There's, tree cover. Like you can hear here and there, see pockets of the starry sky. Undergrowth crunching beneath your feet.
Do either of these glow more than the others?
The 2 that you're seeing seem the same as each other,
Okay.
and the one that you previously faced.
Okay. That is only one target. Okay. Then I think, why not? Let's try this one. Haven't done this one before. Got to cast at a higher level. So Vertigo concentrates and draws furiously, small circles in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, this is a sorcerer spell, so he doesn't do that. He just sort of waves his hands, and from his little fingers pop. Let's see, how many at this point? 8 tiny little flaming rocks that start to
Ooh.
float around him.
Reindeer? 8 tiny little reindeer?
No, tiny little meteors. As I cast Melf's minute meteors that begin to float around him.
That's a
And
fun one.
Are they next to each other, the two creatures?
Maybe 15 feet apart.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're kind of converging, but they weren't right next to each other.
I think. They are converging. So I think Vertigo is going to wait until they're closer and just sort of 2 of these start spinning up.
Okay.
So I'll hold my I guess bonus action. It's sort of
Okay.
it's sort of part of the action.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just fire off 2, whatever.
Okay.
So 2 of them will go streaking off at 1 on each. It is a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. The first one gets, natural 20 for the first one. So 22
Okay.
total. And the other one gets an 11.
Okay, so it's half damage for the first one.
Okay.
That is 6 fire damage.
Okay.
And for the second one, full 5 damage. So 3 on the first one, 5 on the second.
Okay. And it does seem as though it is, resistant to fire.
Okay.
But that's going to be 3 damage and 2 damage for the 2.
Well, it's going to be 1 damage because the first one also succeeded on this dex save.
Oh,
so it's
right,
half
right.
damage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
that got a lot less impressive all of a sudden.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, you're learning about what their stuff is, though.
Yep.
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 All right. So that was Vertigo. Now you're up, Zinhorn.
All right. I'm gonna move so I can get both of them
Mm-hmm.
and hit them with my lightning breath.
Okay. So they make dex checks again.
Yeah, dex of 15
Okay.
is the target.
They got one gets a 21, the other gets a 9.
All right. 21 points of damage for one
All
and
right.
10 for the other.
Okay. All right, so 21 for, well, they as before they are resistant, but that's going to be, well, let's so it would be
5 and 10.
yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, so they're both rendered more like tattered and chaotic, and you see this blue-white sort of energy drifting out from them in the places that it struck them.
All right.
Okay. Celine.
I'm going to cast Witch Bolt
Okay.
at level 3.
Uh-huh.
So a 12.
Okay, that's a 12 to hit. That does hit, actually. It
Oh,
it does hit
wow.
these things, yeah.
Nice.
Like they can fly pretty fast, but they're sort of like big targets. Their cloaks sort of bloom out, and they have the long arms. Okay, so that's 16 lightning damage. Were you
Yep.
doing the one there? One has been slightly more damaged than the other. Are you targeting?
Yeah, I'll do that one.
Okay, so that's going to be 8 more lightning damage for it. Because it's resistant, but it is still held in place by this witch bolt, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you've got it on a lightning tether, so to speak.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
Nope.
Okay. It is their turn now. The one that's in the witch bolt, like what happens if it just like flies at you? Does it fly out of the witch bolt or does the witch bolt follow it?
I think it follows it because as long as I don't do anything else, it will take the damage again
Okay.
on my
Yeah, I
next
haven't
turn.
I haven't seen that spell. I haven't used that spell in a while. Let's see. I believe you. I'm just whoops. Sometimes D&D Beyond, like if I search witch bolt as one word instead of two and you say there's nothing finds nothing, that's annoying.
It
If it
just
Uh,
says
moves,
that it ends if you use your
okay.
action,
Okay.
and it also
Oh,
ends
if
if the
it moves
target is outside of my range.
right, but you're yeah, the okay, so if it moved away from you,
Right,
then it could get out, but not if it moves closer.
right.
Okay, so I think it is their turn. One of them is going to fly right at Zinhorn, and yeah, it's going to yeah, it's just going to reach out to try to touch you with its big sort of clawed fingers, and it gets a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, so that's going to be 8 psychic damage, and I'm rolling a d6. Wow, and it's a 6. As it touches you, it begins to draw on you, and you lose 6 levels worth of spell slots.
Holy crap.
And as it is pulling this magical energy out of you, you see it becoming more solid and tangible and humanoid in shape, but still obviously like haunted, drawn figures, eyes and mouth glowing with this blue-white energy, but it looks stronger now. Okay. And make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Now, does he lose 6 spell slots, or like he's down to level 2
Oh,
now?
so for example, a second level spell slot counts as 2. So 6 levels worth. So okay,
So
I
I
should
checked
have made
off
that more clear. So
a fourth level spell and a sixth level spell.
so
Second level spell.
yeah, a
So a
second and
4
a
and a
fourth
2.
works, or 2 threes, or
Right.
6 ones, right? Like yeah. So just the levels of them have to all add up. 25 on the wisdom save. You are not dazed. So you feel it draw that energy out of you, but you are not left with a lingering effect.
Okay.
But it looks stronger. And so the other one is zooming at Zaleen to try to do the same thing. But it only gets an 11 to hit as it slashes at you with its claws.
Nope.
All right. Okay. Yep. And so that is their turn. Actually, I will say, as after it swipes at you and misses, it moves further because they float pretty fast, and it moves through you to the other side of you, and so you are going to take. Where's my D10? You're going to take 4 psychic damage as it moves through you, and you're just suddenly cold and chilled as it passes through you. That's the one, and the one that you have witch bolted is the one that charged at you. Okay, so that's their turn. Next is Buster.
Alrighty.
I mean, you have control, but I think he would probably defend you before anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is going to attack the one right by me with his multi-attack. And he will start with the bite. He got a 24 to hit.
That will hit.
And that does 8 points of damage.
Okay, and then it makes a strength saving throw because it is no longer intangible in the way that it was before. Okay, strength saving throw. They are pretty strong, but not when they roll a 2. So that's 6. It fails, and it's yanked prone by
Okay.
Buster.
Which means that he gets his extra damage
Mm-hmm.
on his claws. So first claw is an 11.
Okay, and 11 misses, unfortunately.
Alright.
Well, no, actually it's prone, so it should be rolling with advantage.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna roll singly
Mm-hmm.
as the advantage roll, and he got a 25.
Okay, yeah, that will hit. So it looks like 18 damage.
18 damage.
Oh, he is, is it? Oh, yeah, no longer resistant to the damages that it was in this form, because it's not intangible. So, yeah. So, it looked tougher and stronger, but it is definitely taking the hits in a way that it didn't before. All right, and that looks like a 19 and...
19 to hit.
Well, roll one more to see if it's a crit, because 19 will
Oh,
hit, but you're still at advantage.
It rolled
Yeah.
with advantage.
I did roll with
Oh,
advantage.
okay, I see. Well, so wait, so 11 and 25, and then I see. Okay, never mind. You're good. So that's another 21 damages. Buster's just going to town on this guy. So this thing is still, you know, it's still up, but it's bloodied at this point, and it's, you know, prone. Okay, that's Buster's turn. Lynn.
All right. So I'm going to use freezing spears. I'm going to upcast it a level to give
Okay.
me 2 spears for each of the dudes.
Okay. The one that's prone, it will be a disadvantage because it's prone. But you can fire all of them at the other one, however you like.
Wait, okay.
Whichever
the
ones you
one
fire
that
at the one
attacked-
that's prone are rolled at
okay.
disadvantage because it's laying down. It's a smaller target in that way.
I'll.
The AC
I'm
is
gonna
not super
skip
high,
the one.
but yeah.
But
But you
I'm
can
gonna
fire
skip
all
the
them
one.
at the other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do. So,
Gotcha.
in which case, I don't think I need to upcast it then. Yeah, we'll just do all 3
Okay.
at level 2. Ugh.
Well, a 12
Oh.
hits. 12 hits the wraith-like ones.
22.
Yeah.
and
Those
an
all
18.
hit.
Come on.
All right. 1, 5, 6. So it's a total of 12. It is still resistant to the cold damage, but it's going to take that 6 cold damage worth for that one.
Does it take the movement speed reduction?
Sure, why not? I can't think of any reason it wouldn't.
Well, and it does stack. It
I mean,
says the
yeah.
So let's see. It can stack and is removed at the end of the target's next turn. So
Okay.
all 3 hit. So that's 15
Yeah.
feet reduction.
That's correct. It does have a fly speed of 60 feet, but yeah, it is now going to be 45 feet until the next turn. All right, cool. Now it's Clement's turn. She's going to fire the short bow. She does better that time. Good. And yeah, she definitely hits the one that you had just fired. It's got the witch bolt and has the other, the what's it, that you just fired the spears on. And it does 8 damage to that one. But of course it is still resistant, so 4. But she fires at it, and she says, "I got it!" And now it's Vertigo's turn again.
I think Buster has that one quite well. So Vertigo with his right hand will gesture with 2 fingers, and 2 more of these things will fly out. And with the other hand gesture, and the little cold streak comes out cinematically at the same time, but not actually
Okay.
simultaneous. So another dex save against the minute meteors.
Yeah.
And then
5.
5 is a fail, and then a 19 to hit with the ray of frost.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that's certainly going to hit.
Okay, so the meteors, that is that for the first one,
Oh, there
that
you
for the
go.
second.
Um,
So
all right, and so each of those it gets half, but I mean that's another
8
8.
in total.
Yeah,
And
that
then
one's starting to look rough.
for the ray of frost, it is another 8 points of cold damage, and
All
its
right,
speed is further reduced by another 10.
all right, okay. Yeah, that one is definitely starting to look pretty rough. Okay, Zinhorn, you're up. Buster's got one, prone at your feet.
Okay, so I get advantage.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
to melee
prone.
anyway. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, I am going to use my freezing drill spear and roll the 22.
Okay, yeah, that'll hit.
9 points of damage.
Okay.
That's
Oh well, yeah, so you've got your divine strike damage though, so
okay.
9 plus 7, 16.
All right, there we go.
Don't want to forget your divine strike.
I do not want to forget my divine strike.
Okay, nice. Hiya. All right, Zaleen.
I'm gonna lightning him up again.
Gotcha. Does it make another save, or you can just hit him again automatically, right?
I think you can just hit him again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Before I do that, can I use
Mhm.
my bonus action to do Hexblade's Curse?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll give me another D6 that I can.
Does that only go for weapon attacks or any attack?
Let me look. See. A +6 bonus to damage rolls, and you score a critical hit on a roll of a 19 or 20. It doesn't say.
Okay. Well, damage rolls, then I'll take. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna scroll back down.
If it doesn't say weapon attack, then that should be good. So yeah, you just, zap him with an extra D6 juice. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, so that would be 22, and it is resistant, so it is resistant to some of that, but it takes 11 still, and it is very, very rough now.
That's my turn.
It is coming to pieces before your eyes. All of this blue-white energy is drifting out around it, blending in with the witch bolt that it's got it. But it is now its turn.
It's
Unless you
like
have
right in melee range with me, right?
Yeah. I mean, you
Okay.
pulled it close, right?
No, it came at me.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it is in melee range. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and so it is its turn, and it is going to try to claw at you. Where is that? There we go. So it's going to try to get you. Come here, you give me some of that good old magic, is what it would say. It gets a 23 to hit. So.
Does it though?
Oh, was there protection against good and evil and good
No,
on
but there is a reaction. Silvery barbs.
Oh.
It
Okay.
succeeded on an attack roll, so now we'll have to roll again, and
Uh-huh.
I will give. Uh,
Okay. It did roll higher, so I think it will still
Okay.
hit. But I think.
the second part still happens,
Okay.
though, which I will give Zaleen. Are you? Yeah, you are making attack rolls, so I'll give Zaleen the advantage on the next attack roll.
So, 15 psychic damage, Celine.
Okay.
And you.
I was going to use my reaction, but I'll wait until you're done.
Okay. And 4 levels worth of spell slots. And then
Okay.
um, and make wisdom saving throw, please. All right, 14 is just enough, so you are not dazed.
Okay.
But it is now much stronger. It no longer looks on the verge of being destroyed because it has taken the solid form in the way the other has.
Okay. I'm gonna do Hellish Rebuke
Okay.
at level 5.
All right.
It has to make a Dex 18.
Okay. Let's get that Dex 18. It gets a 19.
Well, I think it still takes half.
I believe that's correct. So it would be
Yep.
half of 31 fire damage, and it is also no longer resistant to fire damage in its more solid form, so it's going to take 15 fire damage. Okay. It doesn't like that. All right, the other one that was pinned by Buster is going to stand up. And then because, like, even though Buster is right there, it is going to try to seize and it's going to try to seize and bite you, Zinhorn.
Okay.
Hang on. So it first is going to try to claw you,
Does
and it gets a 23 to hit.
that will hit?
Okay, so it does 6 slashing damage. Wait, no, 10 slashing damage, and it has grappled you.
Oh,
And now it is going to try to bite you. Wow, it's getting rolling high. So it rolled a 24 to hit with the bite.
that will hit.
Okay, and it's going to do 8 piercing damage, and you lose 1 level of spell slot.
Oh, thank goodness.
And it looks a little bit stronger, like that healed it a little bit. And it is currently still got you grappled. So
Okay.
that is the end of their turn. It is Buster's turn now.
All right. Buster is really pissed that someone is going after his friend Zenhorn.
Yeah.
And he is going to take his multi-attack.
Makes sense.
17 to hit with the bite.
It does. And let's see, make a strength save. It does not. It's going to get pulled prone again and take 12 piercing damage.
Now, it's grappling me.
Yeah, so that would break the grapple.
Okay. So it takes 12 points.
Actually, make an athletics check, although, you're crazy strong right now, so.
19.
Yeah, I think you're not even jostled. Buster just pulls him right off you.
Okay.
Okay, so, so it pulls him prone.
Yep. And he is going to hit it with the first claw at advantage.
Mm-hmm.
15.
Okay, yeah, 15 definitely hits. It's going to
Alright.
do 25. Nice.
Yep.
So,
And the second claw.
yeah, it's,
With the 22 to hit.
yeah. It definitely, he tears it to, he tears its head off just with a big claw, and it's just, its head comes off. And there is suddenly sort of an outpouring of that blue-white energy, like pouring out almost like blood, but it doesn't seem to implode the way the other one did.
All right.
So it does seem to be destroyed, and it is not destroyed in the way that the Wraith one was.
Okay.
Like it doesn't, detonate that way. All right. That is Buster's turn. Um, that makes it Lynn, your turn. There is one remaining in the immediate vicinity. It is now Chunky.
Okay. That was actually my question. So
Mhm.
I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers and see if
Okay.
it works on this one.
Okay. So
Wisdom
that's
saving
wisdom
throw.
save.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it fails.
Cool. Six.
Okay. It does manage to like find purchase though this time. You get a sense, I think, with your spell, and you can maybe put together, given the way the other one felt and the way this one feels, that part of what it is in the wraith form, they are just so hungry that they're like entirely single-minded about that, and so like that kind of makes them impervious in some ways, that when they're slightly better fed, they become less resistant in that sense. So yeah,
Okay.
so it's the 6 psychic damage, and then something else
Must
happens.
immediately use its reaction to move as far as its speed allows away from
Okay.
me.
Which its current speed is no longer slowed because we passed its turn, right? Yeah. So that means it is going to suddenly zip 60 feet away from you all, which will take it outside of the range of the witch bolt that was on it. But it is off into the woods. Okay. Clemens is going to fire after it with the short bow. Has to roll at disadvantage because it's long range. What is the range for a short bow? Let's see. Long and short range. Because I was about to say that it was out in.
It's 80, 320.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's still not at disadvantage range then. So yeah, she is going to do another. Nice. She's going to do another 8 damage to it as it is fleeing into the forest. Oh, and I forgot, because it's chunky now, it doesn't move that fast. It only moves 30 feet. So not quite out of range of the witch bolt after all, because it's a solid boy now. All right. So that makes it your turn again, Vertigo.
Oh, and it's not standing next to anybody. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, sort of the two fingers with the right hand descend two meteors towards it, and the solitary cold ray of frost towards
Okay.
it. The ray of frost is a 13 to hit.
13 misses the solid ones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Their form is a little more coherent, and it's thus smaller. But it makes a dex save for the other?
That's right.
Okay. Nope. 8.
8. Okay, so it takes 10 points of fire.
Nice. And it does take all of that. Okay. All right. Cool. So, Zinhorn, your turn.
Let's see if I have.
Oh, you know
spells.
what? It shouldn't have even been able to get 30 feet because it was prone. So it would have had to stand up, and it would have only gotten 15 feet away. There you go. So it's 15 feet away, Zinhorn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, how bad? Well, in that case, I'm not going to waste a spell.
I mean, it doesn't look good. It's not,
I'm going to hit it with my breath weapon.
All right. So it's a
gotta
dex.
roll dex 15,
Yeah, it got a 23.
so it takes half damage.
Mhm.
It'll take 10 points.
Nice. Okay, it's looking pretty rough now, but not quite, falling apart yet. But it is definitely bleeding, and you can see this energy leaking out of it.
Okay.
Okay, Celine. think you do still have your witch bolt on it.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just roll damage on that, I guess, right?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, 27. And now that it's solid, um, how do you finish it off with your witch bolt? You just
Oh.
sizzle it crispy or what?
Yeah. It cooks up like a piece of bacon
Mm-hmm.
before it explodes and
Yeah.
does a bunch of damage.
Yeah, and so you see like the physical form of it just kind of starts getting like burnt and charred, but like all of this energy is just leaking out of it and going into the air as though it's you know, uh, that strange sort of underwater bleeding type of effect. But it has been destroyed. And Clement says, "All right, 3 to go."
This one doesn't explode either. So
No. I think based on your observation so far, it seems that the wraith-like ones do, not the solid ones.
All right. Who else is hurt?
I don't. Oh, I guess a couple of you took a little bit of damage there.
Yeah.
I'm only down like
Hmm
20 points.
But
Okay.
and she's saying, so like you saw that time how they go after the spellcasters and they can like pull magical essence. I guess. I mean, I've been told how it works, but I don't have magic myself. So, like, does it hurt? I mean, it seems like it would.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, a little bit.
Interesting.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. We're almost there. And we've already taken out 3, so maybe there's just the 3 left.
Hopefully.
Hopefully my friends will still be okay.
Let's move quickly.
there's still 2 of these rocks floating above his head.
All right.
Um.
All
We're
right.
twins.
So let's get another group stealth check.
Hold on. I'm trying to find the number of how much I can heal.
Okay.
Oh, 75 points.
Ooh.
So I need 41. Zaylene, you said you're down 20. So you're back up to full. That's going to be 61.
Mhm.
And Buster will get 75 minus 61.
14.
Thank you.
All right.
He's back up to full as well.
All right. Cool.
So that is my channel divinity number
All right.
1 for the day.
Got group stealth again. So do. That's good one for Lynn. Bad one for Vertigo. We got a good one from Clements. And that's a pretty good one for Zinhorn. That's a good one.
Yep.
Is that second one?
That's
Which
the
one is?
second one's for Buster.
Okay, so less good, but yeah, okay. I think the end result of that group stealth check is that you are not detected, and as Clemens kind of guides you forward, you see that there is sort of a little hollow like depression, like there's a big thick tree that looks dead and kind of in the like the shady spot of it, you see that there are 3 more of these things in the sort of solid form, and each of them is sitting like on top of a prone, apparently unconscious humanoid, and just kind of sitting on them. And you can see, and like they have kind of vacant, dazed expressions, and but they look strong.
I'm gonna.
We get in like a surprise round since we're stealthing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
They do
Um,
not see you, so if we want to roll initiative, you can have a surprise round.
should I do the? Should I walk up to them and do the anti
I'm not.
magic field?
I don't know that that's gonna have the same effect. Like my thought was that like the wraith guys would probably react poorly, but I don't know about this. They're fleshier.
Well, if one comes after me, I'll try it, and we can
Okay.
find out so that we'll know for the
Um,
next time.
Vertigo, you want to make an Arcana check? Well, I guess anyone who's proficient in Arcana can make the check. But 27 for Vertigo is pretty good. 18, yeah. Um, I think, Zaleen, you are pretty sure, and Vertigo, you are more sure that the by whatever means these things are draining magical essence from people, you think that the anti-magic wouldn't necessarily affect their sort of like it wouldn't hurt them, but it would stop them from doing that. So if they are currently feeding, so to speak, on these unconscious people, it would prevent them from getting what they're getting right now. But you don't think it would have any other effect.
So while it might stop them feeding, it also would stop us from doing any spells that would help.
Mm.
Only if we're also in it.
No, if they're inside of the anti-magic shell, no spells could pass through.
Yep.
I could throw rocks.
I'm not very good at rocks.
Clemens just says, just be careful not to hit my friends.
Maybe if they're surrounding you, it might be safer so you're not actually
Right.
losing magic.
Okay. All right. I'll keep it in reserve, and
Mhm.
we can do a surprise round.
Okay. All right. Okay, so everyone's rolling a new initiative.
Mm-hmm.
5 for Zaleen, 13 for Vertigo, 12 for Lynn, 16.
For Zinhorn, and 18 for Buster.
All right. Okay, so that's going to be Buster first. um, and okay, so yeah, Buster is first.
All right. Buster is going to rush in where lesser gray renders would fear to tread.
All right, and he's going to get advantage on the first attack here.
All right. So he's going for the bite.
Mhm.
And he's going to grab one of them. Hopefully, he got a 15.
Yep. That hits.
And he did
18.
18
All
points
right.
of damage.
And they fail the saving throw, the strength save, so they're gonna, that's gonna pull them prone, pull them off of the creature. You notice too, though, when Buster pulls this one off of the person it was sitting on, you
Mhm.
see a sort of like some sort of a magical tether between them that almost looks like like when you pick up a piece of pizza and the cheese is kind of stretching out like that. It's almost kind of drippy and droopy, but there's a magical tether still connecting the creature and the person that it was sitting on.
Okay.
But Buster pulls him prone and can presumably attack with the claws. So the first one is a 21. That's going to hit for another 28 damage.
Yep.
Because Buster is good at this.
Oh, yeah. This is his jam.
Yeah.
And he will get a 27
Yep.
to hit with the second claw
Nice.
and 29 points of damage.
Yeah, so he's just given that one a very bad day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Zinhorn, you are next. I think now that they are alerted to an attack in progress, so attacks are not with advantage anymore, but you do still have the surprise round.
Okay. So what I want to do is eh, I'm gonna close with the one that's on Buster.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get 2 or 3 of them with lightning breath?
Well, remember that they are sitting on top of the unconscious.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
People.
Don't want to do that.
Yeah. You could though, if that's what you wanted to do, but
I'm not going
Yeah.
to. I am going to cast Guiding Bolt at 5th level
Okay.
on the one that
If the one that's prone, it will be disadvantage
disadvantage.
because it's prone. Melee attacks are advantage. Ranged attacks are disadvantage.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will move up and hit it with my drill spear.
Gotcha.
28 to hit.
That will hit.
So
Nice.
22 points of damage.
Not bad. That one's looking pretty rough already. You know, Buster will do that, and then you poke him in the face with a spear too.
Okay.
All right.
And for my bonus action, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon at 5th level. And does that count as advantage or disadvantage?
Well, it would be advantage because it counts as a melee weapon attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
23
All right. Yeah, that'll hit.
and 14 points of damage.
Not quite.
Darn it!
Mhm.
Oh.
Like you wanted to just crush its skull, but it turns out it's a little bit springier than you expected. Extremely messed up, not entirely destroyed. Okay. That makes it your turn, Vertigo.
So 2 of them are still sitting on top of people.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Vertigo will focus his energies, spending, I guess it's 2 sorcery points, to extend the spell and draw squigglies around the 2 people he can see that are underneath people, and draw the line to behind him and cast Vortex Warp to move them out of the way.
Oh, nice. Boo, whoop. So they are teleported behind you, but you notice as they appear that there does still seem to be like this magical tether between them and the ones that were sitting on them.
Interesting. And kind of look down at them, say that's interesting, and then point the 2 fingers at the one that has been attacked.
Mm-hmm.
So the last 2 meteor. Oh no, shit. No, I can't do that. Okay.
No? Okay.
Nope. Because it explodes, and it explodes
Okay.
in a 5-foot radius, and there's 1 unconscious guy and a couple of allies there. So
Wow.
those are going to hold off for the second.
Okay. All right. Great. Lynn, you're up.
So we have 2 left. Is that right?
Well, one is extremely wounded at Buster's feet, but not
Okay.
destroyed. The other 2 have not really been touched yet.
Okay. Well, in that case, we're going to do freezing spears again.
Okay.
Upcast. So we're doing the 2 and 2.
Sure.
And so we got
Okay.
26.
26 will hit. 13 will miss. 18 hits.
18 and 26.
Okay, yeah, so that's 3 hits. 2 hits for one and 1 for the other.
9.
So you can decide how you want to split them, I suppose. 9, 9, and... Oh, 9, 9, and 9. Okay, well, that's an easy split then. So let's see. 18 from... Yeah, 9, and 9 down for... Okay.
So
Yeah.
then one of them is 10 feet slower, one of them is 5 feet slower.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, cool. Now it would be their turn, except it's a surprise round, so they get skipped. Clemens is going to fire a short bow. You know what? I'm going to give her the coup de grace on the prone one, as she just basically walks up and fires her arrow into its face. I'm not going to make her roll for that. Okay, so, and Zaleen, that would be your turn now.
Did all of the people that were in there, like her friends, or did we get all of them moved out, or is there still one in
just
there?
two.
Two of them, but the one that had been remaining had the creature pulled off the top of it, and then as Clemens performed the coup de grace on it, and it died, the little tether that had been seen between them disappeared.
Okay, so I want to cast Insect Plague,
Okay.
but I don't want it to touch that person. like,
Oh,
like it's
okay.
it's like a 20-foot sphere
Yeah.
or whatever.
So
So I'd like to do it on just those two.
Sure. So they will be towards the edge of the sphere because, you have to like have it off to one side in order to not be, because they were kind of all together, and you can do it, but they're going to be like on one edge of it. It won't be centered on them. But I mean, it'll still get them for at least this first round.
Right. And can I make it so that the open end is towards us, so that if they have to travel through it, it's difficult terrain, or is that not possible?
I don't think so, because if you think about it, just they were all three like in a little triangle, right? And one of the victims is still there, and so the
Okay.
only way to have it not be on the victim too is to have the edge of the end of the sphere be between them and the one remaining victim, right? And so
Okay.
that kind of, if they want to rush to you, they will rush out of the sphere, but it will definitely get them the first time.
All right. So they have to, when it appears, they have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. All right, they will do that. Oh, so they do it when it appears? Because this is...
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is one of those spells that's like sometimes they do it on their turn, sometimes they do it on your turn. All right.
No, it's only like they do it when it first appears, and then
If they end
start,
their turn.
Right.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. So they rolled a 1 and a 4 respectively on the dice. So yeah, they're gonna both fail. Okay. Ooh, 22. Nice. Oops. Okay. Okay. Yeah. These conjured bugs are just going to town on these guys. I think just for fun flavor here, what you start to see is that as the bugs are like chewing on these creatures, each bug that kind of starts to chew on them starts to glow with that same sort of blue-white glow. And so you're seeing like a slowly expanding portion of these bugs are glowing like fireflies.
We're creating drainer bugs. No.
All right, cool. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, so we're back up to Buster. The one that he had been chewing on is dead, but now the other two are inside the insect sphere.
Yeah, but he's feeling really good.
Sure.
And he does not like these things. They hurt his friend.
Well, and I think if he can pull them, if he could grab one and pull it out, as long as he doesn't finish his turn, or hang on, let me look up the spell, because these are always confusing. Insect sphere, insect plague. Yeah, insect plague. Okay,
Plague.
so all right. When it appears, they make a Constitution saving throw. Da 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 da. Okay, yeah. If Buster reaches his head in to attack one of the creatures, he will have to make the saving throw for the damage from the insects.
All right.
I mean, maybe he wants to do that anyway, but that will happen.
Okay. He wants to do that anyway.
Okay. So, Constitution saving throw against Zalene's DC.
Okay. He did not. He did not make it.
All right. Well,
He
it
only
looks,
takes 12. It's a lot better
That's
than
better,
the last
yeah.
one.
so yeah, 12 piercing damage for him, but he can go ahead and attack.
Okay. And he will do the bite on the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And he rolls a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. And then let's see if it can resist this being pulled prone. Nope.
All right. 22 points of damage. And
Nice.
now it's time for the claws.
Mm-hmm.
Claw number 1. 27 to hit.
Yep.
30 points of damage.
Whew. Okay.
And the second claw.
Easy to forget what a buzzsaw
Crit.
buster is if he can. Yeah. So I think that Buster just makes a mess of this one. There's like when he finishes this current like sort of claw, like he's just shaking it and tearing at it. It's just like it's in pieces, and if you hadn't seen it before, it would be hard to tell what it had been. And in the meantime, you watch and you can see dripping from his teeth and on his claws, this same sort of blue-white energy is like drifting off of them again, like that sort of underwater effect.
All right. Good boy.
Oh no, we've created a drainer buster.
He's
Yep.
coughing out the bugs. All right, yeah, so that one is destroyed. Okay, Zinhorn, you're up.
All righty. I am going to lead with my hammer.
Okay. Hang on, I'm double checking lightly obscured. Okay, no, it doesn't create disadvantage on attacks, so you go ahead and roll that as normal. Because just the insect plague, it's partially obscured, right?
Yep. That's
Okay.
an 11 to hit.
And 11 is going to miss, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid it will. Can I get within 15 feet to use my breath weapon?
Sure, yeah.
All right. I am going to close and use my breath weapon. Dex of 15 save.
Okay. He does save. Yeah, that's an
Okay,
18.
so it'll take half damage, which means it will take 6.
Okay.
And I will back up 10 feet.
Okay. So that makes it Vertigo's turn.
I believe they're still humanoid. So, I will draw an H over its body and cast Hold Person. I will heighten the effect to make it a disadvantage roll.
Maybe it's not going to work. I don't know.
I will not make you waste the spell. I think you think that whatever these things have become, they're enough different from what they were before that Hold Person would not work.
Okay.
Hold Monster is what Lynn cast before, and that
Yeah,
worked.
but that works on everything.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, so what I guess I'm just saying is I'm not going to make you cast it to find out if it works or not. I'm going to tell you. You think Vertigo thinks it's unlikely to work.
Okay. Well, in that case, then, yeah, why not? In that case, then,
They were
Vertigo
perhaps
will move.
once humanoid, but no longer.
We'll move closer to within a 30-foot range. Try to get the angle right because it's a cone effect. If he has to move a little closer, that's fine. And instead, start to move his hand in a swirling motion. No, sorry. Actually, this is a wizard spell. So draw a circular kind of cone, which starts to solidify in the air and then fires towards the creature. He will heighten that spell to make it difficult.
Ooh.
This is Rhyme's Binding Ice.
Ooh.
30-foot cold. It is a what is the save here? It is a Constitution save at disadvantage because he's heightening it.
Woohoo. Okay. Well, at disadvantage, that is an 8.
Okay, so that's 10 cold damage.
Okay.
It is hindered by ice formations for 1 minute until another creature within it uses an action to break away the ice.
Oh.
Sounds like it can't do it itself. Its speed is now reduced to 0.
It can't do it itself?
Until it or another creature. So it can
Okay.
try to do it itself.
But it would have to use its action.
It would have to use its action.
Oh, okay.
Then point the 2 fingers at it for the remaining 2 meteors. Since it has got a move speed of 0, I don't know if that effectively means it's paralyzed against dexterity saves in that case. It's weird. They didn't phrase it that way, though.
It doesn't say grappled or restrained?
No, it just says their movement speed is reduced to 0, which is...
Oh, yeah. You know what? I feel like the mental picture for this is like if a light crust of ice is all over them, and it's just
Yeah.
like they're just like not prevented from moving, but just so cold that for a moment they can't bring themselves to move. So they're not
Okay.
grappled, I guess. Although, like, I think that would give them disadvantage on dex saves, I'll say.
Okay.
That's very cool. Because that means they're going to have to waste their action to get out if they don't want to get the insect plague again.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But it is a dexterity save against the
Okay, and
meteors.
then, all right. Oh, great. Yeah, and I'll roll that at disadvantage because I just said so. All right, that's going to be 10.
That is a fail.
All right.
So 13 points of cold
Nice.
damage. Sorry, fire damage.
Right.
And there's the last of those.
Okay. All right, cool. Lynn, it is your turn.
So there's one left.
There's one
All right.
left, and it's currently in the insect plague, and it's covered with a crust of ice. But yeah, it's not down yet.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just freezing spears it again.
Sure.
24.
Hits.
24.
Yeah. 13
13.
misses.
Okay. Well, either way.
Okay.
8.
All right.
And the 10 feet of speed
Mhm.
loses that.
All right. So its movement speed is only 0 until it breaks itself free with the action, right? Yeah. Okay. So it is its turn now, and it is going to use its action to do that. And it is going to break itself out, and it is going to run out of the insect plague to. I think it's going to run at Carolina because it is, she's the last to use magic on it. But at the same time, it is it used its action already to break free. And you watch, even as it is like approaching you, you watch as it is slowly becoming less and less tangible. It looks like, you know what? Never mind. I take that back because it does still have its tether to the victim. So I forget what I just said. Okay, so never mind that. It is run up towards you. It is in your face now, but it is not able to attack because it's had to use its action already. All right. Clemens is going to try to shoot it with a short bow, and she hits and does another 7 damage to it. All right, Zaleen, you're up.
I'm an Eldritch Blast it.
Gotcha. Okay. 19, 23, 25. All those hit. Okay. 4, 7, 2. All right. 13 total. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, it's taken a couple of hits. It's looking pretty rough now. Like, it is obviously like um oh, okay. So here's what I should have had it do, like when it was rushing towards you. You watch as that little tether it's got to the victim sort of pulses, and it looks like it heals a little bit. That's what should have happened.
I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
And I'm going to use it to smash him.
Your spiritual weapon looks like the big key, right?
Yep.
All right. 15 will hit. Another 7 force damage. Good job. All right. Cool.
That's my turn.
All right. It is now Buster's turn again. And there is a target ready and willing and not covered in bugs.
All right. Buster's going to go for the bite.
Okay.
And he got a
20 to hit.
20.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and rule at this point that Buster just goes in and just shakes this thing to pieces.
All right.
Yeah. Because it was like, the bite didn't quite destroy it, but like it would have had 2 hit points left. You know what? Let's just Buster takes care of it. And so like once it's down, Clemens, you see all 3 of the magical tethers have disappeared. The 3 humanoids are still apparently unconscious. But Clemens is like kneeling at their sides, like I guess they need. I don't know what they need.
Let's pass around a little healing word.
Yep.
I think Vertigo will be looking around just to make sure there's no other hidden surprises here.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
I will
It's
help
very
him.
dark.
I
Yeah.
have dark vision.
Well, Zaleen is helping you, so go ahead and roll again. 11. Yeah, things seem quiet now. In fact, actually, with those things destroyed, you're suddenly hearing more sort of general normal forest noises that had been artificially quieted before.
Is this just a shallow cave, or is this the opening to a deeper cave?
It does not seem to even really be a cave so much as they've kind of dug a little hollow under a dead tree.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like it's barely even enclosed at all. It's kind of just like a bowl. Okay, so with those healing words, each healing word on each of the 3 does seem to bring them around. They still look pale and weak, but their eyes blink open, and Clemens is just looking down at them and says, "Hey guys, I made some new friends." And I think that's where we will call tonight's session.
Woohoo!
Huzzah!
We saved the good people.
Yay!
We didn't die.
Good job.
Yes.
It's a low bar anymore. We didn't die.
Well done.
Oh,
Not dying.
Nobody died except for the bad guy.
I think Zinhirn and Zaleen died a little bit, losing those spell levels.
No, I just mine was super easy. I just did like my level 1 and level 2 stuff.
I guess starting out with a 6 was the big surprise.
Yeah. Well, so
And I was low on spells.
you have only observed the tethers firsthand, but I think what you'll discover is that wisdom saving throw that you passed when you got those rolls is that if you fail that, it's actually kind of like Witch Bolt. They can keep doing that to you until you beat it. All right. So in any case, now you've met some siphoners. But
Met.
that's where we're going to leave off for tonight. Thank you everybody for listening and or watching, and we will return for more adventure on so many levels.
So many
So
levels.
So
many
many
caves,
levels.
bad people.